Hey, good morning. How's it going? Look at this. I am groomed like a baby. No, almost no more beard. A little bit of stubble, but let's see. What does the counter say? 60, 63? 63. Oh, maybe it's fixed itself this time. That's cool, Paul Treffel. Let me know how it tastes. Good morning, Alms, Kuru, Lurib, Michal, Schmaze. Yeah, new haircut. I don't know. I guess he did cut it differently. I just told him do your business, and he just he cut it. I don't want to like tell him how to cut my hair. I just let him cut, and he does shit. Good morning, Svensson. Irish nonsense. Yeah, well, this is comparatively to my yesterday. This is almost no beard. This is just like a half a centimeter. That's cool, Paul Treffel. That's interesting. I got a dry coconut. Just maybe it makes it smooth. All right, let's throw me some topics. Let's get rolling. Let's put the dice there. That's pretty cool, Paul Treffel. You have to tell me later over PM or something what brand and so on. Wasteland Hermit Crab, Minotaur Berserker of Trog. What the? Dieselpunk Medic, Mech Medusa. That's pretty cool. Broken Hazard Suit Girl. That's pretty cool. Coffee Man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Throw. Number 1. Wasteland Hermit Crab. Wasteland Hermit Crab by Kuro. Wasteland Hermit Crab. Kuro. Ooh. Congratulations, Kuro. Yet another topic. All right. Let's start. Wasteland Hermit Crab. All right, so it's like those that hides in a shell, right? What was Let's make some nasty looking thing. So my idea, what I got, like what I tried, what I saw was some sort of lots of slimy motion. That it's like thin and nasty looking, and then like junk pots and pans and whatnot. But the idea that I saw was that it has to be like stretching somehow, like almost like that. Did you see that movie like clip of some sort of sea snail with a tongue, and it shoots on the hand of the person holding it, and it becomes almost like sorry, um, some sort of kind of fibrous web of snail tongue. Looks super weird, super nasty, and it shoots it out as well, like a chameleon of sorts. It looked really alien, and that's kind of what I saw in my head, like very fibrous, organic looking tentacles coming out. But as it's a crab, it needs claws. So let's just kind of try to design something weird here. Hey, Sayer. Yeah, I liked the stream Saturday. It was fun. Um, I wish, though, I had one more glass of wine. It ran out like when there was more or less 2 hours left of the stream. I think the stream was almost 4.5 hours. Um, but yeah, it was fun. I liked it. Hopefully, you guys liked it. Hey, Dennis. Good morning, passenger. Kuro, it was not like a movie. It was like someone recording on their phone. They found some weird snail. It was apparently it's some sort of sea snail of sorts, like a specific kind, and they hunt by more or less like a internal harpoon. It looked really cool. I'm still on the fence if it's real or not, but the creature, the snail itself, exists. There's lots of you know proof of that. Um, but yeah, it was amazing. It was really like, what the looking at it, like, how does that even work? But apparently they exist. Super crazy. Yeah, Irish nonsense. Yeah, exactly. It shoots out the innards like a defense mechanism of sorts, or tongue, or hunt with it. I don't know. Lou Rib, definitely go ahead and post some 3D, but if there's not a lot of 3D people, they can't give technical advice. But most definitely, there's people who can give you aesthetic advice, like shapes, etc. But yeah, feel free to post 3D as well if you want. I can't see anything wrong with it. Maybe you're not getting the feedback you want, but just keep in mind that a lot of people don't do 3D. Uh, go ahead. Hey, dear Bart. Good morning. Well, yeah. I'm assuming a crab. It needs feet. I think it should pull itself forward. See, on the inside it needs to be. That should go in front. That should go behind. I wanna do something fun with the end of the claw, like, or I don't just want the ending to be like a sharp thing. If there's fingers, it's not a crab anymore. Maybe some sort of gel, like some pouch of something. Maybe that'll look weird. Maybe it's telescopic. Maybe it's... Oh, let's just give them smaller legs to kind of extrapolate or continue rather on the tentacle idea. So it feels like it's just holding on to everything. Oh, thanks, Saya. Kuru. All right, let's give it a head. Um, by the way, I'm really happy that you guys are so active on Discord. It's fantastic, um, and I'm really glad that you're doing studies and applying the feedback and all these things. It shows desire to improve, which is awesome, and that's the correct way of thinking about things. You know, like, all right, let's see, you know, if I can improve it, rather than uh, like what's it called, shrugging it off, right? Like saying, okay, I get the feedback, but not doing anything with it. One of the things I remember from like the glory days of forums is that applying the feedback is just as important as reading it. If you never try to implement it, you can't relate to it in a kind of functional manner, right? You need to be able to to like apply it, right? Hard to explain, but if you never try to put it in, you might never get it, you know. It was really cool. Great that you're part of the Discord and active. It's awesome. Kuro, yeah, I think that's a lot. Too many people don't apply it. And triggers. No, but it's in a way it shows it's not contempt, but it's this weird. You don't take it to heart, and you don't think, you know, in a kind of roundabout way. Don't think that the feedback applies, even though maybe you don't agree with it. But it's so worth to try it and see. Okay, can I actually implement it? What does it do to my painting? Will I learn something from it? And the more you kind of try that and try to understand it, the more you will understand next time you get feedback, if that is a reasonable feedback. Um, there's a lot of people thinking that there's this one-stop solution where a lot of it is just about experimenting and failing. Failing is so important, and it's a part of my lecture. Um, that I usually do is the end the part of it is about failing. That it's so important to fail, and I mean, when sketching and experimenting with designs and paintings and so on, if you do it right when you're failing, you'll learn a lot from it. You know, if but also then if you're too defeatist, then you think like, oh, I will never be good at this. That's the wrong way of failing, right? It's more or less, okay, this obviously doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? What can I change to make it work, right? I think that's a way more healthier point of view. And a part of that is to implement feedback and see, okay, can I make it better? How can I make it better? It's about experimenting and it's tricky. that is that is funny. Yeah. Um, yeah, I've been also very busy the last few days. I haven't been able to do as much kind of like feedback and so on, but you guys seem to be helping each other really, really well. So I thought no need to like stress out too much. The community seems like it's striving. Um, it was really cool. Very happy about it. Hopefully, we can grow in the lines of what's already happening, so that become a helpful bunch of people, or continue rather being helpful. Kuro, well, it depends, right? You shouldn't try to finish one just for the sake of finishing one. But I kind of talked about this before on another stream about the whole like competition mindset or exam work for university and things like that. That whole mentality that you have to up your game. I think that is really important, and if you never do that, you'll never concentrate and try hard enough to try to get any piece of work up to a certain quality. What I mean by that is like, let's say you're in a competition, right? You have a month to do a painting. You're not just gonna wait until the last few days and then mad scramble just finish a painting, right? You wanna, because it's a competition, it's going to be in a public space, you're naturally going to try your best by sketching it out, like resketching it or working on it to from the beginning to end, like trying your very, very best to make a really good painting. And I think that itself is such a healthy thing to experience and now and then. And it's very important to try to do that even though you're not in a competition. What I mean by that is like do sketches fine, experiment with failing you know, try to come up with a cool theme and whatever. And whenever you accidentally strike gold in your sketches and go like, oh, I really like this sketch, like this is really nice. I wanna, you know, this feels really right. So what you should do then is like, okay, let's try to finish it. So you start making a plan, like, okay, what's the approach? What should I do to finish it? And then when you've thought about the plan, start implementing it, right? Move towards finishing it. Like, if you maybe need to resketch it, or repose or whatever, you know, whatever the illustration means. But push it as far as you can. Like really put the hours in trying to finishing it, and really push it hard and get feedback and push it more and push it more and push it more until you can't anymore. And then you go like, okay, this is my top uh, abilities, right? I can't make it better than what I just made. Like this is the stop, right? And you look at, maybe compare it to other people, and kind of critically look at it and go, okay, what do I feel this painting is missing? And you kind of break down your own result, right? You try to think, okay, what don't I like about it? What should I try to do better next time? And you do like a post-project analysis kind of, and then go back to sketching and experimenting and doing studies. And but now and then when you do get like I said, like you strike gold and you find like a really cool sketch or really cool character or whatever you really like, then you do the same process again, and you try really hard to take it to like 100% finished. But you never get to 100% finished. That's the thing, right? But you always have to try, and you always have to chase that uh, elusive perfect painting, and techniques and approaches, and like how does that artist do that, like effect of looking like there's an explosion, and you do experiments, and you try to do that yourself, and like reverse engineer something, and you know, all these things of how can you make it better, what's the like the final touches to make your painting that much stronger. And you just keep looping like that constantly until uh, until you die. Irish nonsense. I think it. I mean, it could be worth it. I mean, awesome that people want to give you critique. Um, but the problem with that is critique is not always warranted, and a lot of people also just want to say something for the sake of saying something. Um, but if it's in a written form, usually that means they have had to put effort into it, right? They have to have thought and formulated their point of view correctly. And if it's just someone like, well, you should, whatever, you know, it's quite reactionary critique. Um, I mean, in theory, it could be good, but you should also keep in mind that it might not be good. But yeah, I don't see anything wrong with it per se. Obviously, last Saturday I was doing, uh, you know, live feedback, so that in itself is not wrong. It's just a lot of people also just want to have a comment or a say, you know, just to keep that in mind. Michael, yeah, definitely the last 5% is the hardest part of doing a painting, and you never reach it. You just have to try to reach that, like, oh, it's so tricky. Lurib, a lot of problems can be alleviated by doing a proper foundation work. So before you start painting, make sure the proportions are correct, the anatomy is correct, um, you know, is there any problems you can correct before you move to the next step? And then you say, all right, no, this is the best I can do. Okay. And then you start, let's say you do a value blocking. Is the value blocking as good as I can make them? Yes, no, like, but also what's important when you do those kind of things is to keep in mind what's my process and which step am I going to correct or add things. So you have to kind of remember also your process is very important, but it's because sometimes you can't do a step until you start the step before, right? Like I know that when I do grayscale paintings, I don't take it fully because I know when I'm painting with colors, etc. I adjust a lot of values because of atmospherics and so on. Um, so I know that I don't need to do certain steps until like towards the finalizing of the concept or the painting. So that's another thing about mileage, about experimenting, about trying new things, is that you teach yourself as well about how you paint things and when you paint things, and you know. Looks cool, Arishnas. I don't see anything wrong with that. Looks sounds fair. Hey, Captain Jetlag. Good morning. Welcome. Hey, Mila. Good morning as well. You made it. Yeah, Lurib, I think it's very important to remember foundation, like the foundation of a drawing or painting. Is that the faster you rush into it, the more like shooting from the hip you're going to do, and the more planning and the more you understand, the easier it is going to be to finish something. Less guesswork is going to be. Like a lot of these warm-ups is me just reacting, right? I'm solving problems as I'm painting them, and I create new problems and I try to solve them by creating or by painting more, right? It's not necessarily the best way to do sketching, uh, but I mean, I've done enough sketching to know the correct way, and this is just for fun, you know, like casual drawing and just seeing what comes out and talking to you guys, which is fun. And the purpose of this kind of sketching is nothing but just in the realm of phone doodles, you know, just having some relaxed sketching, being creative. Um, and sometimes when doing this, you can see me correcting things, obviously, because you know you always make mistakes, and then it's a part of correcting them as well. It's the whole process of doing art. Uh, I think that should. go on top. Same with this. Yeah. One good thing, Luri, could be that as you're sketching and you like something and you want to take it further, have a checklist of your most common problems, so that when you start to, before you start, check anatomy, perspective, is there something misaligned, you know, and that way you remind yourself as well. And if you remember, I talked about a long time ago about my design process, and that I taught at CGMA, and that at the beginning the process is have a lot of steps, but the more you get used to it, the more you can kind of truncate the steps, because you understand more and more. It's the same thing, right? If you have this checklist that you're checking yourself with, um, when you've done that enough times, of all right, oh, I missed the anatomy of the arm again, you're gonna get used to it, and you're gonna self-check way more often than you have to remind yourself that you're doing a mistake. Kuro, about speed paintings, yeah, I definitely think it's a uh, good thing to do. It's just a matter of how you're doing it, in the sense of uh, like why you're doing speed paints, and if you think that is like the only thing you need to do, then that's wrong. But doing speed painting as a supplement to studies is very good. I think speed painting itself is just kind of reactionary painting. Uh, you use the information that's there. You can quickly create something that you can use um, to to paint more with. You know. Then also, what is a speed painting? You know, that is also something that a lot of people mislabel, like concept art as well. It's like, no, that's an illustration. It's not concept art. Same for speed painting. Like, what is a speed painting? Well, where's the? Is it how fast you move your hand? Is it how many hours you put into a painting? What is a speed painting? You know, everyone have their own definition what a speed painting is. Yeah, checklist of fundamentals like construction, all these things before you start painting. Lurib, yeah, it's a common mistake. You've just been painting without thinking, but that's also nice sometimes. Um, Shmei is about 5 jackets or 1 jacket. I think you should do both. I don't think you should settle with just doing one or the other, because you learn different things from doing both. Like I talked about, like chasing that 5%, last 5%, is just as important as the foundation drawing uh, of the illustration that you're going to later try to finish. Right? It's um, it's a skill set you need to practice regardless. It's not just either or. And whatever you think is good, whatever you like doing, is always good to do. And there, you don't need to always worry if it's the right thing to do. Just do it. Do what feels right for you, what you like to do. Because doing art is a lot about having fun and enjoying the process. And who knows? Maybe you come up with a new painting style or a new process, and you will never do that unless you feel comfortable in what you're doing and enjoying it. You know, there's many people who have defined their own style by just doing what's fun, you know, and not what's correct. But that's the same like with topic with style. Like, oh, my style is doing broken anatomy. No, it's it's not enough information of choosing where to bend the rules of anatomy to make your own style, right? It's just supplement with studies, but do what you want to do most of the time because it's fun. Practice the technical, practice the fundamentals on the side of having fun. Do what you want for fun. You know, I'm not just repeating myself constantly. Blah, 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 words, words, words. All right, time's up. This is the weird, I don't know what, wasteland crab. Hey, Jeff's Folio. Unfortunately, you just joined at the end of the stream. Tomorrow morning, you gotta be half an hour earlier. Captain Jet Lag, that's funny. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining. I'm sorry, Jeff's Folio. I gotta go to work now. Uh, yeah, he just came in the right time for the outro. So, thanks everyone for coming. See you tomorrow at the same time. Have a fantastic day. Sleep well wherever you are. And see you tomorrow. Bye. Outro. Outro.